Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatadishatharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. You can all sing with me, Jai Radha Madhava, right? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jayo Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Kanjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Kanjana Jamuna Tira Hari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Grantara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gita Jayanti Mahamahotsav ki jai. Hey, welcome again to everybody. Let's just read our opening prayer. That will be page 1, introduction of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishnan Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanditamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vrindeshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. Welcome to everybody again. Thank you for joining us on this very auspicious day of Gita Jayanti. So today, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just over 5,000 years ago, for our benefit. Remember, Bhagavad Gita was spoken prior to this by Krishna, but the essence of Bhagavad Gita was lost due to the diminishing ages. Okay, so Krishna came out of his causeless mercy and preached and spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna for our sake, for us to take it seriously into our lives, to apply his instructions in our lives, and to perfect this human life form and realize our eternal relationship with him, thereby achieving our ultimate goal in going back home to Godhead, in essence. Okay, so today we're going to give everybody a chance to offer their favorite verse in Bhagavad Gita and tell us why they think it's their favorite verse. Any other realizations you want to give on Bhagavad Gita? We've got until 8 p.m. How many of us on this chat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us. So it's quite doable, right? And give everybody 5 to 7 minutes each, I think. Okay, so I just want to start off with a little summary before we go ahead with that. On the 5 main points of Bhagavad Gita. So the 5 main topics that Bhagavad Gita deals with is Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Karma, and Kal. I just want to share my screen because I've got a little picture up here on my screen. So I'd like you all to see just an illustration of this. Oh, Paramatma Prabhu. I think I can't share my screen because, okay. Let's see if I can share now. Because you had it on host only. I've changed it now. Okay, there I can.
Yeah.
Right now I can. Right, can you all see this picture? Ishvara is who? Right, there's Bhagavad Gita as it is here on the left, right? The 5 main topics. One is Ishvara. Ishvara is God, whom we call Krishna. So there's Ishvara here, that deals with God. Kal deals with, you can see the clock here, deals with time. Kala means time. Right. Then we have Jiva. Jiva is the Atma, the soul. Jiv or Jiva is the soul. But remember, there's Jiva and there's Atma and Paramatma too. So you see the soul and super soul here, right? That's Jiva. Then it deals with another topic called Prakriti. Prakriti is what? Three modes of its material nature. Prakriti is actually material nature. We understand from Bhagavad Gita that material nature is made up of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Right? So you see this little picture here illustrating the three modes at the bottom that control all living entities. But who controls material nature is Ishvara, Krishna, God. Right? He is a controlling agent of the three of Prakriti, of material nature. Material nature works under Ishvara, works under God, under Krishna. Then we have karma. Bhagavad Gita deals a lot with karma. Karma is action. And then Krishna teaches us how to link karma to him. And then when that link happens, we call it karma yoga. Yoga is to link, right? So that's the basically the essence of Bhagavad Gita. We can talk a little bit on each aspect. So let's start off with Ishvara. Right. Ishvara refers to the Supreme Lord. Now, all of us here are controlled by somebody or the other in our lives. Some sort of controlling force hovers over our heads or over our lives. Right? Just like a child now is controlled by the teacher at school, at home by his parents. A woman is generally controlled by her husband or a man, or boss controls the employees at the office. There are many controlling factors in life. So ultimately, everyone is under the strict control of nature and its laws, the laws of nature, right? But even in nature, we see what? Perfect orderliness. So seasons come and go, the sun and moon appear and disappear, days of time changes all the time. So then it leads us to what? To ask a question. If everything in this world is controlled by, we say nature is also under control, because there's daytime, there's nighttime, there's waning of the moon, there's waxing of the moon, there's different seasons, there's spring, summer, autumn, winter, everything happens in sequence. All right. So likewise, we ask ourselves a question, so who is the ultimate controller of everything? And that ultimate controller is Ishvara. Ishvara, or the supreme controller, God, right? Paramatma situated within our souls is Ishvara. Then we spoke about Jiva. Jiva is the living entity. Now here again, almost all of us identify ourselves with the body. Bhagavad Gita keeps saying you are. Krishna keeps telling Arjuna, you are not this body, you are the soul. Arjuna, get up, stand and fight. Because whether you kill them now or later, they're still going to die because the body is not everlasting. So that's the distinction, right? Jiva, the living entity. So we all identify ourselves with our body, saying, this is me. I am Muslim, I am Hindu, I am Gujarati, I am Hare Krishna, I am Hindi, whatever. But we keep saying, and when we make references like this, oh, my body is so aches, or my mind is very disturbed. It's always me, I. But it's to such an extent that even when somebody dies, we'll have the tendency to say, oh, he has passed away. He has passed away. The dead body of the corpse will be lying right in front of you. Oh, he died. No, he did not die. His body died. But what is the driving force of the body? The driving force is consciousness. And consciousness is the soul. When the soul is present in your body, or the jiva is present in your body, we say the body is alive. The man walks, eats, sleeps, defends, etc. He does action, he does forms karma, he does work, because jiva is present in his body in the form of consciousness. It's a symptom of the soul, consciousness. So that is the jiva. The real you is inside. So that's another topic that Bhagavad Gita deals with in great detail. Then Prakriti. Prakriti is material nature. So material nature And God can compare to mother and father. So Krishna is the fatherly figure, and he impregnates this material world, who is mother, with living entities. Right? So Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita that he is a seed-giving father of all living entities. Therefore, we say he impregnates material nature with all living entities. Just like a mother nourishes her child and provides all sorts of necessities, all living entities with everything that's necessary for their sustenance is nourished by Mother Nature. So food is amply provided by Mother Nature. There's no scarcity. If we say there's scarcity, then it's due to artificial man-made means. Otherwise, everything is provided here by material nature. Grains, land, we can plant our vegetables, cows give us milk, can make many milk products. Prabhupada always said, material nature gives us everything. There's no need to go and extend that and commit violence and that kind of thing and kill animals just to get food. Because Krishna has provided us with enough grains, water, milk. Okay. So now we know that material nature provides us with all this, but just before this, we said that who controls material nature? Krishna. God controls material nature. But many ill, misinformed people are tricked into thinking that material nature acts independently without the controlling entity. We said the controlling entity is Ishvara. Right? So Ishvara controls Prakriti. Krishna controls material energy. That's what it is. It's working under his direction. Right? And we said there's three modes of material nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. Then another topic the Bhagavad Gita deals with extensively is Kal. Kal is time, eternal time. Time is a feature of God. It's a feature of Krishna. And time can destroy and does destroy everything. In time, everything is destroyed. So in our daily experience, we see how everything just diminishes and deteriorates with time. Everything and everyone, everything and everyone is subject to the laws of time. Right? You know the same famous proverb, time waits for none. Time just goes on and on, the clock ticks. And Bhagavad Gita further explains that time is relative. Time is relative. So namely what we mean by that is, it just goes, it's relative to different zones, like we get our 4 yugas, Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and then Kali Yuga. And these cycles keep repeating themselves in the day and night of Brahma. Lord Brahma is the creator, the first creator under Krishna, sent Brahma to create this universe. So one day of Brahma constitutes 1,000 such cycles, and the same number makes one night, right? That's just on time. And Bhagavad Gita deals with a section of that as well extensively. Goes into detail. Okay. Right. Then karma, activities. Karma is the most discussed topic in Bhagavad Gita. And it means the form of duty that liberates us from the influence of ignorance. Karma is activities. Yoga is how to link. So karma yoga means link our activities to the Lord. Karma yoga, right? Path of action where one works only for the Supreme is karma yoga. Right? So in our current situation, we are suffering because due to our forgetfulness of our relationship with our Creator. Our forgetfulness of Krishna puts us in this suffering situation. We carry on performing karma, but as soon as we make it karma yoga and link our actions to Krishna and dovetail our actions to pleasing Krishna, then that becomes an easy and quick way to attain the Supreme. Okay. That is the means of devotional service. So now the most important message of Bhagavad Gita, I would say, is that one should perfect one's life and purify his existence by connecting with Krishna. Ultimately, this is what Krishna is relating to Arjuna from the beginning. Arjuna, you've got to do certain things because it is your duty, but Arjuna, do not forget, don't attach yourself to the results of these actions. Arjuna, do it for my sake. And if you do it for my sake, you will be pleasing me. And by doing it for me, you will not attach yourself to the results. And if you do not have any results attached to your action that you should be performing out of your own duty, you will surely come to me. This is the essence, right, of Bhagavad Gita. Right, and how do we do this? Krishna says, by the process of rendering devotional service unto him. Do everything for him. Everything for him. And by doing that, one becomes happy. He becomes satisfied under all circumstances. It keeps things like depression away at a distance because you realize that this is the material world. There's more to this. There is far more to this. Right? So the failures won't affect you to such a great extent, and in time not at all. Krishna says, accept both failure and distress, like the ever-changing seasons of summer and winter. He says all of this in Bhagavad Gita, and then he gives us a nice process by which we can reach the stage. Okay, but that comes from sincere study of Bhagavad Gita and sincere endeavor to apply the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita into our lives. It makes you more humble in your dealings in this world. You become more successful in all kinds of relationships. You become happy and content. In essence, this is what it is. Okay. All right. Now let's hear from all of you. Okay, devotees, who's starting today? Madhuri Mataji, what do you have to offer for Gita Jayanti today?
Madhuri Mataji.
Yeah, Madhuri Mataji.
I just felt I read today on YouTube with the 18 chapters I completed from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So the most the one that I liked all the chapters and the way it was explained, but I became like so touched when I saw the 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge. Lord Krishna is the supreme Godhead, the supreme object of worship. The soul is eternally related to him through transcendental devotional service, the bhakti, as you spoke about now, by relieving one's pure devotion, one returns to Krishna in the spiritual realm. Yeah, so yeah.
What verse number is that, Madhuri Mataji, the one that you just read out the English to?
Okay, it's just the introduction of the the 9th chapter, the most
all that. Okay.
Then he says, the Supreme Personality said, he's talking to Arjuna on the battlefield, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and the realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of the material existence. And you explained that now. Yes.
That's excellent. I like that point very much. If I may just comment on that point that you just made. Very, very importantly, Krishna said to Arjuna, because you are non-envious, I shall impart this knowledge to you. So what does that mean for us? Madhuri Mataji, how would you understand it in relation to yourself?
Because we trust in him.
Yes. Faith.
Yes, we trust. Yeah, the faith. Yeah.
So you are faithful to Krishna. And if you're faithful to Krishna, it means you're not envious of him. So so only such a person can get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. If you're envious of Krishna, you will not be sitting in this class.
Ji.
Isn't it? Not everybody takes to Bhagavad Gita. No, this world is populated with so many living entities, human living entities. How many of this great population worldwide will be enthusiastic enough to sit and listen to a Bhagavad Gita class every week?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Or even if not sitting in a class, how many of them would actually pick up the Bhagavad Gita and read it in their own private personal capacity on a daily basis, or as often as time permits? How many people would even be interested in looking at Bhagavad Gita or listening to it or reading it for themselves? Not everybody, but the ones who are interested and who get the opportunity to do it, understand that such a person is not envious of Krishna. So when Krishna says to Arjuna in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that I am imparting this knowledge to you, Arjuna, because you are not envious, understand that people who take interest in Bhagavad Gita are devotees, because they're not envious of Krishna.
And at the end of the day, it's Krishna's arrangement.
Yes, and Krishna being the super soul seated within our hearts, knows our heart, and he knows our desires. So if you desire to want to know about him, he will reveal himself. The more you desire to know about Krishna, the more Krishna will reveal. It all depends on your desire. Okay. Thank you so much for that share. It was very nice. Thank you, Madhuri Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pleasure. And I'm learning every day something.
We all are. Thank you.
Thank you for your guidance also.
I thank Srila Prabhupada, the gurus, and everybody else for their guidance. Okay. Veronica Mataji?
I don't know what I did.
Sorry, 1 second, Veronica. What's that, Madhuri Mataji?
I don't know what happened here, and my screen came out so small. Can Paramatma Prabhu help me to put it right?
Okay, Paramatma Prabhu, you can help Madhuri Mataji. Veronica, you can carry on.
Okay. Dear Mataji, if your screen is small. Our screen is okay.
Mute Paramatma Prabhu, then you can carry on, Veronica Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, Hare Krishna. Thanks for this beautiful class on Gita Jayanti. I didn't get a chance to go to the temple. At least we can associate like this. I'm feeling good that we have some sort of nice association. Thanks, devotees. So the Bhagavad Gita, I love the Bhagavad Gita. All chapters are so dear. It was so difficult to choose a special chapter, but you know, of recent, I was reading a lot on the opulence of the Absolute, chapter 10, and text 8 to text 11. I just was so attracted to text 8 to text 11, from text 8 to text 11. So the one, okay, I'll read the text 8. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aham sarvasya prabhavu mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. That one, going on to chapter 9, text 9. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. I feel this is like my space. I'd like to, you know, I always want to read about Krishna. I want to associate with Krishna's devotees. Sometimes when I'm talking, I dovetail my activities and my talk. Sometimes I feel like I feel like out of place because maybe the audience is not the right audience. They don't want to hear what I have to say. Yeah, but I am there at the moment. I just feel sometimes, even at work too, the audience may not be right, but I'm just going in my own tangent. And then text 10 also, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And then text 11, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So I'd like to offer those chapter 10, opulence of the absolute, text 8 to text 11.
Thank you very much. It's such a sweet offering. I love those verses too. They're lovely. So nice. Lovely. Everything emanates from here. Krishna says, see, everything emanates from him. He's the source of creation, cause of all causes. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service. So, who knows this truth are referred to as the wise. And I also like very much those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. I give the understanding by which they come to me. Oh, that is so sweet. You see, it's nice, so merciful. You just devote yourself to him and he's so merciful. Even if you don't have the understanding, he'll give you the understanding by which you can go to him. Huh? So beautiful. Even how he dwells in such devotees is lovely. Thanks, Veronica.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Okay, who's next? Shalina Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. My first offering is to you. I wanted to say that you're the grand disciple. Yeah. So you're a grand disciple of Swami Srila Prabhupada. So I want to thank you for being an important piece of my story, because it's because of your passion for Bhagavad Gita and Krishna consciousness that you've engaged all of us. Else, I don't know what we might be doing on a Saturday night, really.
Oh, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you. All glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to our Creator, Krishna. All glories go to them. They empower us. We just jivas. But thank you very much for your sweet, kind words.
Thank you, Mataji. So if there was one verse that I think stuck out the most for me, it's the verse of celebration. It's chapter 4, verse 8. It's Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sanstapa nartayar sambhavami yuge yuge. And it's just the Lord letting us know that, he will appear millennium after millennium to save us and to reestablish dharma in this world. Yes.
Lovely.
Thank you, Mataji.
To deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of dharma, I myself appear millennium after millennium. I myself appear. So Krishna takes this time. Look how merciful he is. He takes this time to appear here for our sake. Millennium after millennium. Imagine he gave us this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita so long ago. From the sun god, to Visvan, to his son, to Ishkavaku, and the science was lost. So he came again. And then he came again and again and again. He comes in different yugas, in different forms. And they came in his original form and spoke Bhagavad Gita as well. Excuse me. So this is the mercy of the Lord. It's called his causeless mercy. This is what we call causeless mercy. It doesn't have to do anything, but he does it for us followers. Thank you, Shalina Mataji. Okay, who's next? Paramatma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, accept humble obeisance. Maji, yes, I echo what Shalina Mataji said. We're very grateful to you for your sacrificing your time for us. We really appreciate it. And thank you for everyone else for supporting and listening. And also we really get some excitement that you're inputting to the class, and we're all benefiting by sharing knowledge. Thank you so much. So Mataji, for me, I like the way Sanjaya, when he was talking to Dhritarashtra, In the beginning, Dhritarashtra was asking him a question about his sons, but you can see Sanjaya, he's a true devotee, because he was discussing Krishna. He didn't talk too much about his sons of Dhritarashtra, but he took straight to Krishna consciousness. And you can see towards the end also in chapter 1875, Sanjaya, he says, Sanjaya said, "Thus I have heard this conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end." And there's another two more verses. He says, "O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment." And the next verse, text 77, he says, "O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again." So these verses, it sort of encourages us to listen more attentive and be like Sanjaya in his willingness to listen and feel emotions, when he hears about Krishna. So we can learn from that. Thank you, Madhavi.
Brilliant. Paramatma Prabhu Jai. Thank you so much for pointing that out to us. That is wonderful.
So basically, devotees will talk about Krishna, and non-devotees will take the material, life. They talk too much about the material also. We can learn from the devotees like Sanjaya.
Doesn't that echo, Paramatma Prabhu, what Veronica Mataji quoted in verse 10, where Krishna says, "My devotees take joy in speaking about me"? Isn't that verse 10?
Yes, that's true, Mataji.
See how it ties up with what Sanjay, and you pointed out that Sanjaya is such a great devotee, a pure devotee, because he witnessed the entire dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. An ordinary person cannot overhear such a confidential conversation, isn't it? And he's displaying all the symptoms of a devotee here in these verses that you pointed out to us. He said his hairs stand on end. That's ecstasy. Okay, that's on a very high level. We speak about the progression of bhakti, the progress of devotion, and we go through all these phases. And one portion of it is ecstasy, when you display symptoms of ecstasy, like how when Lord Krishna came and Lord Chaitanya, and he used to dance in ecstasy, and he used to faint in ecstasy, he used to cry in ecstasy, hair standing in ecstasy. So Sanjaya's hair stood on end. Whose hairs wouldn't stand on end? Witnessing such a dialogue by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself to his pure devotee Arjuna. And he rejoices again and again as he remembers. So this verse 77 is also very nice, because Sanjaya is saying, "O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more. And I rejoice again and again." And this is the goal we spoke about in the beginning of the introduction, that we should engage our time and energy in serving Krishna, hearing his glories, and doing devotional service, so that we can remember him more and more. And if the more we remember him, the happier our lives get, and the more we progress, advance in spiritual life. And the whole point of doing devotional service is for remembrance. We need to remember Krishna, because in Bhagavad Gita, somewhere along the line, Krishna also says that whatever you remember at the time of departing your body, that's the form you will take on in your next life. Your last thought determines your next life. So Sanjaya got it right here. "O king, as I remember this wonderful form of Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again." So remembering Krishna will make you rejoice again and again. It puts your consciousness into a very transcendental mode, and that is the goal we are trying to reach. So again, thank you, Paramatma Prabhu, for pointing that out to us.
Thank you, Maji.
I learned something very valuable today. I didn't look at it in this way. So thank you. Anybody else? Kadruta Mataji, you want to put anything in the chat box? You may type something for us, and we'll read it out for you. We understand that you are not well. Okay. Anybody else wants to say anything in summary? So, so let's read this verse that Paramatma Prabhu quoted, right? Sanjaya Uvacha, this is 74. In chapter 18, verse 74. Sanjaya Uvacha iti aham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha samvadam imam ashrausham adbhutam roma harshasam. And he goes on to say, Vyasa, you 75 as well, Paramatma Prabhu. No, which other verse you quoted? 76 and 77.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. 76. Rajan samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjuna keshavarjanu yo punyam rishyami cha mugur. And then 77 he says, Tachcha samshmritya rupam ati abhutam hare dimayo me maharajan vrishyami ja punah punah Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Very nice, thank you. Anybody else? Come, in summary, anybody? Veronica, Shalina? We're done now with class. So let's hear from everybody.
In summary,
Yeah,
I echo Shalina and Paramatma Prabhu. Thank you so much for your association and your pure love and humbleness that uplifts us. And it's yours. Every time everybody praises what you've done, you always offer it at Guru's feet, and that shows humbleness right from the bottom of your heart. Thank you so much, my dear. Yes, love you lots.
okay, love you lots. Shalina Mataji?
Nothing further to add, Mata. Thank you.
Okay. Madhuri Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji. It was a nice session today. I couldn't be here for the past 2 weeks. My Prabhu wasn't too well.
I did hear about it. I hope he's feeling much better now, Madhuri Mataji.
Yeah, he is. Thanks. Yes.
Right. Anybody else?
It was a nice day today. I enjoyed, and tomorrow is Ekadashi, which is just also another beautiful way of thinking about Bhagwan.
Yes.
And being in his mood. Yes. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Paramatma Prabhu, in conclusion?
Mataji, Bhaktan Kurapal sent me a message on the other phone, but that phone, the battery went flat. So I couldn't see the verse that she sent. Maybe she can share it on the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yeah, if she's unable to share it
She's
again.
obviously offline at the moment if her battery's gone flat, right?
Okay.
Isn't it? Would mean that, right? So what we can do is tomorrow in our session, we can pick it up with her.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
All right. Anything from your side in conclusion, Paramatma Prabhu? Then we'll do Nashinga Dev Pranams.
Mataji, if you can just review a few lines. In the end, it talks about the glorification of the Gita. I think it's somewhere in the introduction.
Glorification of?
The Gita.
Yeah, Mahatyam. You're talking about the Gita Mahatyam.
Yes.
Yeah, is that at the beginning, I think?
Somewhere it is, but
It will
very
be,
nice.
yeah, that's very nice. Somewhere at the beginning, I'm just going to find it there.
You've got time. Otherwise,
Page number?
also.
Yeah. Let's do it. For 10 minutes.
What page?
What page? You can just direct us. We'll find it quickly.
Before
the introduction.
I think it should be somewhere in the ending.
End.
In the ending.
Thing of the introduction.
Why did I think it was at the beginning? I don't know. I always understood it was at the beginning. There's some in the introduction, forms part of the introduction, for page 29.
Yeah, our Bhagavad Gita is slightly different.
Okay. See, I think at the end of the introduction, there's some verses on the Gita Mahatmya.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think there's introduction, then there's some pictures like in my book. And then there's Gita Mahatmya. So if you want to turn to that. Everybody on the same page.
No.
Okay, let's go to introduction. Can we go to introduction?
Yes.
Right. Now, page through the introduction. Go to the end of, almost to the end of your introduction. Go to go to one reads Bhagavad Gita very nicely with all seriousness. It must be the like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5, 6 verses of introduction. 7 verses. The last 7 verses.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. The last 7 verses of introduction is the Gita Mahatmya. 7 verses. Okay. Go Bhagavad Gita as it is. The last 7, right? Last 7 verses of your introduction. Now see. Oh, too bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Page, mine is page 29. Okay, Paramatma Prabhu, you can speak on it in the meantime. You wanted to draw our attention to?
No, I just saying, it's nice to recite it. You know, if we can just.
Yeah, let's recite it. That's fine. You can recite. You can recite, Paramatma Prabhu.
Okay. And the first one is in conclusion.
Yeah.
No. It says in Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental literature which one should read very carefully. Gita Shastram idam punyam ya pate prayata pumam. If one properly follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, one can be freed from all miseries and anxieties of life. Vaya sukhadi parichita. One will be freed from all fears in this life, and one's next life will be spiritual. That's Gita Mahatmya 1. And you want to get someone else to read the second one, Mataji?
Okay, because I didn't see the verse that you did, but it's fine. I've got here Gita Jnana Shilasya. That's what I have.
Oh, so I think it starts there, Mataji. You're right.
Okay.
It says in brackets there, one will be free from all fears in this life, and one's next life will be spiritual.
Yes.
And brackets, it says Gita Mahatmya 1. So I'm not sure that is Gita Mahatmya.
Yes, okay. That's
or does it start following that?
Okay. All
it
right.
says there's also further advantage, and it says, and there's Sanskrit there, and it says, if one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him. Then Gita Mahatmya 2, the Lord says very loudly in the last portion of Bhagavad Gita, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Thus the Lord takes all responsibility for one who surrenders unto him, and he indemnifies such a person against all reactions of life. And then there's more after that, Mataji.
Yeah, read, Prabhu.
Okay. So one may cleanse himself daily by taking a bath in water, but if one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water or Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. That's Gita Mahatmya 3. Then because Bhagavad Gita is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one need not read any other Vedic literature. One need only attentively and regularly hear and read Bhagavad Gita. In the present age, people are so absorbed in mundane activities that it is not possible for them to read all the Vedic literatures. But this is not necessary. This one book, Bhagavad Gita, will suffice, because it is the essence of all Vedic literatures, and especially because it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's Gita Mahatmya 4. Then one who drinks the water of the Ganges attains salvation. So what to speak of one who drinks the nectar of Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is the essential nectar of the Mahabharata, and is spoken by Lord Krishna himself, the original Vishnu. Gita Mahatmya 5, that is, Bhagavad Gita comes from the mouth of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Ganges is said to emanate from the lotus feet of the Lord. Of course, there is no difference between the mouth of and the feet of the Lord, Supreme Lord, but from an impartial study, we can appreciate that Bhagavad Gita is even more important than the water of the Ganges. Then this Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all Upanishads is just like a cow. And Lord Krishna, who is famous as the cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf. And the learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. That's Gita Mahatmya 6. And then, so I'm not sure, does it stop there, Mataji?
There's one more, isn't it?
One more, I think so. So in this present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. Therefore, ekam sastram Devi ki putram Gitam. Let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world, Bhagavad Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Let there be one God for the whole world, Sri Krishna. Eko Mantras Tasya Namani. And one hymn, one mantra, one prayer. The chanting of his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Kamapi ekam tasya devasya seva. And let there be one work only, the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for that, Paramatma Prabhu. Very beneficial. So can we read the Sanskrit of that now? Gita Mahatyam. Everybody can follow that. So starting from Gita Mahatyam 1, we heard the explanation. Now let's read the verses. Gita dhyayana shilasya pranayamya parasya cha neva shantihi papani urva janma kritani cha sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha malani rochanam pumsham jalasnanam dine dine Sakrit Gitamrita Snanam Samsara Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartavya Im Anyet Shastra Vistare Yasvayam Padmanabhasya Mukha Padmad Vihisrita Bharatamrita Sarvasvam Vishnu Vakratvam Vihishritam Gita Gangodakam Pitva Punarjanma na Vidyate Sarvopanishado Gavo Dhokta Gopalanandana Partho Vatsaha Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahad. And then there's one more. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Veronica Mataji, Nashingadev pranams, please.
Okay. Shri Nishingadev Bhagwan ki Jai. Shri Nisimha Pranam ki Jai. Namaste Nirsin Kaya. Namaste Nirsin Kaya. Dala Dayini. Dayini. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. शीलातंका नकालाये शीलातंका नकालाये इतो निसिंहा परतो निसिंहो इतो निसिंहा परतो निसिंहो यतो यतो यमितो निसिंहा यतो यतो यमितो निसिंहा बहे निसिंहो हितया निसिंहो बहे निसिंहो नृसिंहमतिं शरणां प्रपदे नृसिंहमतिं शरणां प्रपदे तव करकमलहरे न कमकुटशृङ्गा ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदीप्ता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलहरे न कमकुटशृङ्गा ललिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवदेवा नररूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जयो नृसिंहदेव 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 जयो नृसिंहदेव जयो भक्त प्रह्लाद भक्त प्रह्लाद भक्त प्रह्लाद जयो भक्त प्रह्लाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गीता जयंती की जय
So please remember that tomorrow is Dasi, so we shall all abstain from grains and dedicate the better part of our day to serving the Lord, right? And chanting and all of that. Om Nama Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivargacharya Stotra. His Divine Grace Abhikaranararinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Kija. Nama Om Vishnupada Paramhansa Parivargacharya Stotra Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Kija. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Kija. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavrinda Kija. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Kija. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय पंढरपुर अरवादी कुरुक्षेत्र अयोध्या द्वारिका धाम की जय श्री गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नीताय गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the same devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the same devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the same devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, kripasindubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha, anantakoti vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Shri Gita Jayanti Mahamotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, devotees. So we'll meet tomorrow for our weekly class. Right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the class.
Okay, thank you for joining. Hari Bol. See you all tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maji. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, everybody.
Get well soon, Kajuta Mataji. Hare Krishna.